Hey everyone, welcome back to the Severed Chains Devstream. I have Zychronics here with me again, and today we're going to be working on something a little bit unique. Something I'm currently calling the Combat Composer. Basically, this is going to be a new feature that lets you basically choose what enemies you want to fight, what stage you want to fight on, and who you want to fight with. So it's going to be sort of an out-of-band thing, not something that you will be doing like as part of maybe a standard playthrough, but I think it'll be very cool. You want to say hi, Zychronics?
Hello. I'm hoping we can have 6 Melbus in one fight.
Yeah, that would be an interesting fight. I'm kind of curious about that too, considering how very scripted that fight is. That'd be interesting
Okay,
to see.
I actually tried this. I tried adding Melbu and Zeeg in one fight, and it actually crashed the game. So I don't think we can do it. I just thought that was fun.
That would be pretty cool. And who knows, maybe we can figure out what was causing that crash and get it working. Okay, Eric said stream is a bit quiet. Let me see. I've got my mic cranked up as much as I can. I do have Zychronics turned down a little bit. I'll turn that up a little. Hopefully that's a bit better. Okay. So I guess the question is, where do we start? I guess we'll need to first dig into the battle loader code, BTLD.
Well, I know the encounter table is actually loaded up for like a split second in RAM, and then it
Yeah.
goes away.
So there's this sub-overlay, SBTLD. This is basically the battle loader. So this is loaded into the sub-overlay slot right when combat is loaded, and this does like all of the asynchronous loading while combat is starting. So I think it's all going to be in here. You can see this is where the stage data is being loaded. I do have a bit more of this stuff named in some code I haven't committed on my laptop, but that's not super important for what we're going to be doing here. Yes, happy March.
I was looking for a 6 somewhere because you can have 6 monsters in battle, but they never use it. There it is. Wait, I'm watching the YouTube stream. I'm behind.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yes, let me fire up the stream on Discord as well. Probably be a lot easier if you could see things in real time.
I don't think I can read your Discord stream.
Uh, that might be an issue then. Well, we'll try. Um, we'll give it a shot and see how it is. Hey Doom, hey Balder. Ink's here too. Hi Eric, hi Bonicula.
It's okay.
Yeah. I don't have the greatest upstream out here. I only get about 10 megabits per second, so I'm not sure how well it would work streaming to both YouTube and Discord at the same time. If I up the Discord quality, I mean.
Yeah, let's not try that.
Shut the whole thing down.
You need at least 8 for 1080p on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got this this class here, preloaded entities. Um, so this has the encounter data, which has enemy info, index, and position. Hey Kakashi. Okay. So I think we're going to want a regular constructor here that's not just loading straight from a byte array. So let's get rid of these. Well, this is interesting because there's this enemy info struct, which has 6 slots, then this enemy indices, which has 3. So maybe there
Okay,
could be.
that's wrong.
What's wrong?
The game actually has slots for 4 unique monsters. Only 3 of them work.
3 of them
If you
work.
try adding a 4th unique monster, the game crashes. But you can have 6 monsters in battle, as long as you don't go over 3 unique monsters.
Alright, well, let's go over 3 and see what happens.
Yeah, let's rip that out.
Yep.
I still need to load up my notes. I was not doing the secret thing. The other secret thing.
Oh, the other secret thing. We got too many
Yeah,
secret things on the go.
I was actually playing a video game, so I was not set up before. So usually I have at least all my files open. I had Dramod open just in case.
Yeah, probably a good call. Okay, so we're just gonna make this call the other constructor after getting everything ready here.
Yeah, okay, I found the table in the OV file. So it is 4 slots, but the 4th slot doesn't work.
Yeah. Oh, can you? You can't. God. Fucking Java. Kakashi asks, so you're coding stuff for battles today or other stuff in general as well? We're working on something that I'm calling the Combat Composer, which is basically going to let you start fights against any enemies that you want. So you'll be able to choose what enemies you want to fight against. You'll be able to choose what battle stage you want to fight on, what characters you bring into the party, etc., etc. So that's going to be pretty cool. We'll just call this from overlay and then do that. Now I'm going to have to change this to oh, it's not static, of course. Okay, we're all good there. Okay. So that will let us build different encounter data. where's this getting set at? Right there. So this is loading the encounter data from a file I exported. So rather than doing that, we're just going to do some experimentation here. And we're going to build this up ourselves. Encounter IDs, I think it was. Whoops. Okay, so let's do something really simple here first. Go to the LOD resource archive and just grab some enemy IDs. Which one of these
Oh,
is
it's
it?
the first link on
It's here.
Google.
Yep, if you put Google Drive, it brings it up. Probably in docs. All region monster data should do it.
I'll get it for you.
Or maybe not. Okay, thanks.
Let me go to the thing real quick.
Whoever you are, disembodied voice.
Um,
I don't have any chocolate whipped cream, so I don't think I can do that one.
I think I found it. I thought maybe it is just a spreadsheet. Yeah, I'll send you this.
Okay.
which one are you looking for?
I'm just looking for monster IDs.
Try that one.
Let me see.
Yeah, it's in doc.
Where did you send it? Oh, there it is.
It's in the dev chat, but it should have been in the docs folder. I don't know.
Yeah, this is, but it doesn't have the monster IDs, only the encounter IDs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have monster IDs. That you would have to pester Zyconics for that. My bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Zyconics.
I'm looking for it.
We've got
Documents
this.
like
We've got this all regions monster data, but it doesn't have IDs.
Yeah, well, they are in order by IDs, but I took them out for the spreadsheet.
Oh, they are in order of IDs?
Yeah, so Mantis is 0. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's do 0, 1, 2, 3, just make it easy. And then for enemy info, we need to do so I'm assuming that index is the index into the indices, because it has to be difficult. Or is it? No, it is the combatant index. Wait, no. I'm confused. What is this? To the hex editor. Okay, so the first 8 bytes will be the first table. And then should be 6 groups of 8 bytes. Okay.
I
So
posted
it's
the ID list in the modding chat.
okay, great. What the hell? So for this first encounter, the index is 18 for the first slot, and then the other slots are 7FFF.
Okay,
That's interesting, but I
yeah,
guess kind of makes sense.
yeah, FF7F is basically no monster ID.
Yeah, okay, so that's a single assassin cock. So it seems that they just repeat the same ID for the... Yeah, okay. Easy
Um,
enough.
Philip remade that one. I don't know exactly what that one is. The first battle you're looking there should be actually the Berserk Mouse.
Um, are you sure? Because
Hex
I'm
ID
looking at the...
18.
I'm looking at encounter ID 1 in the encounter data list, and it says slot 1 is assassin cock.
Yeah, I have no clue if this is reordered or something, but that's not right.
Is this encounter table wrong?
I have no clue what the intended purpose of this one is.
The feed I
Uh,
sent.
I use this encounter table a lot for starting battles, and it has always been right from what I've pulled out of it, at least. Hey, Chris.
Huh. Because if we load up Sever Change right now, Encounter 0 is Berserk Mouse, is it not?
Well, let's find out. We'll just flip this back and fire it up and see what happens. Okay, Doom is saying that Encounter 0 just isn't in the list, which is kind of what I was assuming. I think it may have just gotten missed. Yes, okay, that's what it is. There is no Encounter 0 because these encounters are actually 0 based. Um, so it starts at 1, so that is skipping 1.
Oh, I think this is the order of the encounters per area, because that makes sense.
This
But
list
it's not
is this list is ordered by the encounter ID.
the one we use in the debugger, because there's technically two different encounters.
Yeah, this is the encounter ID that's used in the debugger to start any fight.
Because it looks like it's in order of the encounter table that's loaded per what area you're in.
No, this is definitely just straight up encounter ID.
Yeah, encounter ID 0, Berserk Mouse. I just
Yeah,
tried it.
the issue is that this table is missing the first entry. Like there should be one more entry at the top.
Oh.
Do you have edit access to put one more?
Yep, I do.
Okay.
Uh, Berserk Mouse. So yeah, if we start encounter 0, I know for a fact it is the
Okay, yeah,
Berserk
I'm
Mouse.
just getting confused then.
Pardon the very crunchy noises. My computer does not like playing these sounds while streaming for whatever reason. And then if we start encounter 1, then it should be the assassin cock. Yeah. Okay, all is right with the world.
Okay. I thought something was wrong with the table because I was like, wait, what's the first record?
Yeah, we're all good. Not what I wanted to do. No, stop it. God, I hate Windows 11. Why is this private? And I'm just going to use the data they have here for the position vector. F1, 80, 0, and 80. Why do you not like that? Oh. We'll do a full 6.
Is the vector XY or YX?
Should be XYZ.
Oh, as long as it works.
Yeah, it's XYZ. These are the values that it uses in here. Does have different values for the higher ones. I'm kind of curious to see if this is going to make all of the enemies spawn on top of each other.
Yeah, if you do it like that, they should.
Hey 2G.
Maybe move them over by 4.
No, I
So
want to
you
see them
have
spawn on top of each other.
Alright.
I am doing a completely full load here, so it may crash anyway, since that's what retail does. I'm kind of just curious. Yep, didn't like that. Index out of bounds, -1. Why is it getting a -1? Where is it getting a -1 from? Get combatant index. Where does that come from? Or get combatant. Okay, so we're just going to breakpoint here and see what happens. Oh, you know what? Yeah, it's because it's only looping to 3 here.
Trying to fix the retail bug?
Yeah, exactly. So, changing that loop might actually fix the retail issue. We're going to find out. Well, look at that.
Yep, and was the problem I had. The textures aren't loading correctly too.
Okay, so we've got... What was the first enemy in the list? Mantis. Yeah, so we got Mantis, Scissorhands, Spinning Head, Sandworm, Mantis, Scissorhands. Yep, so we've got 6 enemies here. And 4 unique ones.
Does 5 unique break the game now?
That's a good question because I have made it flexible. And it's not sitting in memulation, so... Yeah, let's try something different here.
I hope it's easy to kill the unique limit, because like that won't be an issue on anything we're running it on now.
Let's just do a full 6. Sorry, whoops.
Doom says if you load full color textured enemies, that won't be a problem.
That is true, but I am also going to try and get textures working. However, there might not be enough VRAM. We're probably going to end up clobbering some other data.
Yeah, because to me it looks like the textures are loaded based off of the encounter ID. So if you add a new unique monster, it won't load in those correct textures.
Right, we'll need to do the same thing that I did when I got rid of the whole party permutation thing.
I
Oh,
just
that's
want
weird.
my... Oh.
Some part of the battle stage is possibly getting animated. Maybe one of these enemies has an animation attached to it or something.
Or maybe
But
we're just overflowing.
Mantis, oh look, no it is, what the hell? That's really interesting. So so I'm pretty sure it's actually editing the display portion of the VRAM, because you can see it's only in the first double buffer. This is interesting. But we do have Mantis, Scissorhand, Spinning Head, Sandworm, Sea Dragon, and Landskater. Let's guard and see what happens.
Yeah, I think 6 normal enemies would be fine. A boss or 2, I don't think so. Like if we add 6 bosses in here, I think it will break for sure.
I don't know. We're gonna try it.
Alright, we need to recreate my post that I made with all the dragoons that you can fight.
Look, we still have an unused battle object.
Oh, so we can fit 7, right? Is my math correct? I can't read your screen.
Yeah. And I mean, once we pull... Well, those might actually already be pulled out of the memory emulation layer. So I mean, once that happens, we can just, extend it as much as we want.
20 vampire kiwis.
I want to see what happens when we finish the fight here.
Storm!
You may notice that most of the particle effects are actually rendering somewhat correctly now as well. That is a major, major improvement that we just made. I think it was yesterday or the day before.
Storm.
I wonder which one of them is causing that VRAM jittering.
You
I guess
think
it was
it'd
that
be
one.
the... Oh,
Which one was that? I wasn't paying attention.
I have no clue. I'm catching up on the YouTube stream.
Was something flying?
Was it the sea dragon?
Oh yeah, probably. Bunnicula says, "Oh my god, I accidentally clicked the next button and I was watching the wrong stream for about 10 minutes." Well, welcome back. Okay. Yeah, I mean that seemed to work pretty well. Aside from the textures, obviously. Let me see. Okay, so this needs to be changed from 6 to enemy info dot length. Gotta make sure that all of these methods get updated to be flexible in length. Drops is already flexible. Okay, so we do have this upper bounds here already, the unique monster count, so that's fine. Okay, well, I think this proves, like, immediately that it is doable and not particularly difficult. One of the hurdles will definitely be getting all of the correct textures loaded. And I think that will be an issue for as long as we are still using the emulated VRAM due to, you know, just VRAM constraints. Although, interesting thing that I will show here in a minute, there is a very large chunk of VRAM that we could reclaim because the game does something very, very strange. I can show that once we get into battle here. Okay, so this entire chunk here, all of this stuff that kind of just looks like repeating noise, you can see there's kind of 3 distinct rectangles that all kind of share a unique pattern. That's actually animation data that they loaded onto the GPU rather than storing in regular RAM for some reason that I do not know. So this entire section could be taken out and replaced with whatever.
Will that be enough, though?
That's a good question. Um, what are these the enemy textures down here?
Very hard to notice. And you got all 6 of them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are the enemy textures. I'm fairly certain they are. Um, it looks like each of these fits into... Yeah, that's only a couple of texture pages per texture. And it looks like each enemy texture is the same dimensions as the animation data. The animation data does actually extend down to the midpoint, um, if there was enough data. What you're seeing underneath of it here is just whatever was in the VRAM there previously. Yeah, that is a very good question, Doom, and I have absolutely no idea because there's plenty of RAM for holding on to a fairly small amount of data, and putting it in the GPU just means that it's going to take way longer to load. Knife Gaff says, sorry, I'm new to this. What is Severed Chains? Severed Chains is basically my PC port of Legend of Dragoon. I've been working on reverse engineering it and porting it to PC, Linux, Mac, Steam Deck, etc., for the past couple of years. Okay, so load and counter assets, I believe is what it is called. Yeah, so here is, I rewrote the character loading stuff so that each character just has their own folder rather than it being in permutations as it was in retail. Um, that's what allows us to easily do no dart, things like that. Um, we're going to have to do kind of the same treatment for the enemy TMDs and textures as well. Um, so let's see here. Actually, you know what? This might just be loading individual files. But that is for the models and animations. I don't think it's the same for the textures. Yeah, okay. Load enemy textures. Here's what we're looking for. Yeah, so that is just purely based on encounter ID. And this is why all of the enemies had the correct models and animations, but not the correct textures. So, I think what we're going to have to do here is we'll probably want to iterate over every enemy and find their texture inside of one of these packages and copy those out. Yeah, okay. So we're going to need to do an unpacker change here.
Oh, great. Another deleting of files.
Yeah,
Hopefully it's not.
it's your favorite thing.
I am transferring files to my new hard drive. I blamed Cyberchains with all the file deletions for it failing.
Yeah, Cyberchains definitely killed it. Okay, so 26, 25 is where those start. And I imagine it probably goes up to the end encounter ID. There's 491 encounter IDs. Okay. Oops. Okay. So we're going to do something very similar to what we do with players. Okay, just need to think about this for a minute. What the best way to do this is. So let's take a look at one of those files. It should just be 3 TIMs, or I guess fewer if there is nothing else, or if there's only one enemy. Yeah, this TIM file has the TIM header. And we don't need to do this. because there's only one file. Okay, how does it match them up? I guess it's just by file index. Yeah, okay. Now that is a bit unfortunate because it doesn't tell us exactly which files belong to which enemy. We might actually need to parse out the encounter table. You're getting a little ahead of us, Doom. We still gotta figure out how to get these files unpacked right. So the issue is, the order in which files are unpacked is non-deterministic. So the encounter table may not be extracted yet. At the time in which this extractor runs. So this gets a bit complicated without hard coding everything, which I really do not want to do. Now, I could do something that's not really great, like this, where I load S item and pull the names out of the virtual memory. I don't like that though. I don't like that at all. I think base mod does something similar actually with the overlay that we're looking at. Or maybe at this point that file is already loaded? The joys of non-determinism. At least with the party permutations, each one had the actual like enemy index or the character ID in the actual package, so it was super easy to match them up. But That's not the case here. Okay. We're going to not do this for now and do something a little bit worse, but way easier. It's going to take a few more file loads, but it's not the end of the world. Okay. So what we're going to do here this time is we're going to take this code and we are going to load the encounter file. Okay. So we're going to load the encounter data from disk. We are going to iterate over each of the loaded combatants. And we are going to find one permutation for each of them. Okay. Oh, actually, you know what? I only loaded a single one. I need to load all of them. Okay, so we're going to load this whole file. So we need the file size, divide that by OX38 to get the count, and then we're going to load them all. Okay, so that gives us all the encounters. Now we have the enemy index here. And okay, now we can do this. So we search through each encounter, we find the enemy index, and then if we have found it, then we do this. Then we load that file. But we just need to figure out which one it is. So it's going to be 2652 plus encounter ID. And we comment that out. We no longer need the file index, but we're going to keep that for now. And let's just run it and see what happens.
This was more hacky than I was expecting.
It's not terribly hacky. It could be way worse than this. And basically all we're doing is finding 3 permutations. Okay, so we found encounter ID 13 for the first one. Encounter ID 13 is Mantis. Yep, that checks out. Now these textures, I just realized, are going to be overwriting each other repeatedly. So we're going to need to change this. Okay, so we need to know we need the enemy slot. And we need the file slot. Actually, we can just use the current terminology here. File int combatant slot. So we can comment out this outer loop. And this is combatant slot. And then we comment out this inner loop. This becomes combatant slot, and enemy slot is the same name. What is A0? A0 is the color map. That doesn't seem quite right. I don't think this is actually color map, but I don't really know what it is. But it's being used either way as where to load the texture. Okay. So that's rects in VRAM. This This is not Ghidra. I need to look at that table. That wasn't a crash 2G, I just shut it down. Okay, so this table is 8 bytes wide. So 140, 140, 180, 140, 1C, 140. Okay, there is something a little weird going on here. I think we need to understand what this is doing. What this A0 variable is. It looks like if A0 is 0, then it just uses the TIM position encoded in the TIM itself. We will definitely have to change that. We can do that very easily right now. Int combatant index. Although I just realized one thing. The models probably have the TIM coordinates baked into them. That will be an issue. Yeah, this is an issue with the way that the PS1 handles its VRAM, which is to say it doesn't handle its VRAM. Everything has to be basically hard-coded. I do have plans to remove textures from the emulated VRAM and store them all individually, which will allow for things like the upscale project, for example, having any number of textures loaded as we need to. It'll make a whole lot of things a hell of a lot easier. Without that, this is going to be a bit of a bitch.
So is this a situation where you leave it now and do it later?
That
Or
is
you're
what
gonna
I'm
get this
leaning
working?
towards. I'm leaning towards leaving the textures for later. Because we have proven that we can get the fight working. Period. Having functional textures is obviously a must, but not for basic functionality. So I think for now, we will ignore that part and just go for the basic functionality now. I am very likely going to be getting rid of the emulated VRAM for the next release cycle, which will be starting probably next week. We're just about ready to cut the next recommended build, which has extremely major improvements. Like comparing it to the previous recommended build, which we will be doing a little comparison video coming up soon. Like it's night and day. It's like a completely different game. Most effects are rendering now, not all of them correctly, for one thing. All models are rendering correctly, all animations are working properly now. Like it's big. You'll be able to see that all this Friday's playthrough stream as a little preview. But anyway, so we can get that working easy. Now, we will want to be able to programmatically place enemies in a reasonable location. So let's look at a fight with 3 enemies, so we can just basically grab a formula for that. So 58, and what was the pitch of this table? 38 hex. So 58 decimal times 38 offset CB0. Is this right? (23, 13, 23). Okay, yes, that's right. There's just only 2 unique monsters. Okay, so F1, FA. Wait, no. That's quite different placement from the previous one. That's interesting. That's
You can just
negative.
try Firebird.
Oh yeah, Firebird's got a bunch of them, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So they are moving it quite a bit. Let's just see what happens if I jack that up. Oh, wrong direction.
This is why I was asking their positions earlier.
So, in this combat stage at least, it looks like the players are facing the Z-axis, which is a bit strange. Normally, when you're looking into a scene, you are looking down the Z-axis, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. Okay. But that gives me a gauge on the distance at the very least, and in this case it looks like 80 on the Z-axis is roughly the center. So if we do something like plus I minus 3, or not, no it is I, why did that put int? I minus 3 times OX 800, we'll say. Let's see what happens.
You just need to make sure the last Kraken is actually centered.
Yeah.
I think that's the only encounter with it like slightly off center.
That's completely unsurprising. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. I mean, it's not really perfect because there's one enemy off screen, but, you know. I think we should be able to change this in real time. So let's say as the midpoint 480. Yes, we can make a second row. It'll probably be easier to just nuke these. Oh, I've got some breakpoints set here for debugging. Oh, I didn't nuke all of them. It probably would have been faster to just restart. But we've already committed.
Demon's dance.
Storm!
Yeah, there we go. Now the 6 of them are centered. Anyway, we can mess around with the exact positioning anytime we want to, but that gives us the basics.
Or do we want the end user to just set the position themselves?
Yeah, most likely. Once we do a proper interface for it, we probably won't do it programmatically. Or, I mean, we could seed the positions programmatically and then allow the users to move them around as they please. I think we will need to do camera control as well, because if there's a lot of enemies, then that could be problematic.
You gotta zoom out. I didn't add zoom in the last debugger update.
Oh, you added zoom?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I was
But
thinking about it, but I was like, there's no point. Who's gonna need it?
yeah, I do plan on adding like a free cam to combat as well, so you can kind of fly the camera around rather than being restricted to like the set positioning. You can. I'm just gonna make it so you can literally place the camera wherever you want to. Just do kind of like a first-person perspective while you're flying around, like first-person controls, and then yeah, set the camera like that, and then go back to playing normally. Alright, so what else do we need here?
The battle stage.
Yes, and if I recall correctly, you have already added a battle stage option to the debug tools, haven't you?
Yes. I wonder, is the disco lighting all fixed so it matches up? I haven't actually looked in the latest build.
Good question. Do you have an example of a battle stage that has disco lighting? I did not mean to go into a fight there.
Yeah, give me a minute.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, let's use 108. All the characters should be green.
108.
Yeah.
So what do I need to do here? Just check this off and click set.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. You have to actually run around for this one. You can't use the debug encounter.
Okay.
Oh, the disco lighting is fixed. Okay. Good
Okay,
to know.
I did make a bunch of lighting fixes there, so there you have it, folks. Battle Stage 108 is just green. Green Abyss.
I like it.
You should. What happens if we go into special? It should correct the lighting because each special stage has its own lighting.
It's like if Westminster was represented graphically instead of just a font.
Look at all those particle effects. Yep. They do indeed have their own lighting effects. Let's see if Final Burst looks any better, because Final Burst basically didn't render anything at all. Dart's just gonna hang out for a little bit.
He looks incubated like he's in the moon.
Alright, we got some particle effects. Now, there is some stuff not rendering here that is very likely going to be rendering perfectly soon. Yeah, the fire is rendering just off in the background.
Probably good to test the dragon, too.
Yeah, let's do the Dark Dragon. Let's go full screen for this. This sound is actually working now. I just need to... I didn't do a full unpack before running this. But yeah, Elepri fixed all of the Dragoon sounds a day or two ago. Better, not good, but better.
Wing Blaster!
And the last one runs away. Alright. And I am going to go ahead while I am thinking about it and delete the XA files so that the next unpack will fix them. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we should have Dragoon audio now. Yeah, so I'm on the trail of a fix for the issue that's causing a ton of stuff not to render right now. For example, like how everyone's missing body parts in all of the combat cutscenes. I have found the broken code. I just need to figure out why it's broken.
It's too soon to fix Headless Albert.
Don't worry, I will not change my Ko-fi display picture. It will remain as Headless Albert, and I think Headless Albert should just be the mascot for the entire project. Speaking of Drew, you want to make a Severed Chain sticker that's just Headless Albert?
No.
Wow.
I'm hurting over here. You're all talking about the Albert thing, and normally I would agree, but, it's called Severed Chains, not Severed Heads. So you should rename the project first.
Alright, we'll rename the project then. Then you can't turn it down.
No! It's not the takeaway.
Alright, everyone. Do you think that Headless Albert should be the mascot for Severed Chains? Let chat speak.
Oh, it hurts. We haven't explored other options, that's all. They don't understand what they're missing.
It's unanimous.
Oh, my feelings. Well, I can't really say anything about it. It's not my project.
Ooh, 2 separate heads. Baldur, you might be onto something.
I would be more okay with it if it was more of a reference to Sleepy Hollow. Then I would do it. Put him on a horse and give him a pumpkin head.
Give him a pumpkin?
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yep, the memes always win. That's just how it is. Yeah, give everyone a chain instead of a head. Okay, what else do we need to do here? We've got enemies working. No UI, obviously, but a UI for that is quite simple. And I'm not going to build a UI on stream, because that is not interesting YouTube content. We need to do characters. Okay, I think I should just be able to track where this is getting incremented, which is right here. Dr. Drew.
Well, that was a rap reference to the typo Dr. Dre.
Yeah, I know.
Interestingly, the first major song I heard on the radio as a kid was Next Episode, I think, which was probably a Dr. Dre song.
Okay. probably.
They always played rap music on the bus.
Alright, everyone is confirming it. Okay, so this is the table that controls where the player battle objects are placed. So that's fairly easy to change. I think it will just be a matter of changing the character indices right here. So let's just do something stupid. Let's make Zycronix his favorite party ever.
I'm not liking the sound of that.
6 Melbus?
Oh, we're talking characters here.
Oh, I see. I know what you're gonna do.
I don't know if this is gonna work, but we're gonna try it. Oh, I still have the combat stage locked. Okay, once more with slightly less feeling.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see anything.
Stop playing Splinter Cell. This is a Legend of Dragoon stream.
There. The perfect party. This is what peak performance looks like.
Hey, if you say perfect, I better see 3 monsters and that's it.
Oh, that was weird. The sound effects are very wrong. Miranda, stop pressing the... Oh god, I don't even remember what the button is called on PlayStation controller. Is it the circle button that goes back?
It should be. I've been playing the Japanese version, trying to switch between my emulator key setup on PC and then Sever Chains, and then messing them all up.
Miranda keeps pressing the back button instead of firing an arrow. Let's go into special.
Oh.
Hey look, the light column is rendering. Oh, okay, you didn't like that. But why? Oh, the sounds are messed up. Okay. We're gonna have a lot of these to clean up when we start allowing more than 3 characters. We're gonna have to genericize a lot of stuff.
I
And
wasn't even thinking that far.
Yeah. We're gonna have to genericize a lot of stuff and pull a lot of stuff out of memory emulation.
And reorganize the UI.
Yes, very much.
Well, we'll be doing that anyway.
Yeah. We'll have to come up with a better solution for displaying character stats when we allow more characters.
We need some graphical artists to look at that, because if you looked at one of my videos with custom UIs, they are not good.
I just need to make time for it, and I could do it.
Yeah.
But if we could find someone actually experienced, that would also be preferable.
Yeah. You're just gonna keep piling on, huh, Drew?
Look, you're following after my example, so now I have to follow your example of my example, so I don't get hypocritical with my own example.
Fair enough.
That makes sense,
I
right?
think. You sure made a point.
Don't know if it was a good one, though. Look, it's not my fault, though. Like, it's everyone else's fault for believing in the stuff I've been doing to get us all together and doing these cool things. So it's your fault to buying into my thing in the first place.
I guess. Now, to be fair, I started this before I even knew about the community.
Oh, I can't really dispute that, can I?
It wasn't long before, because I kind of just got some reverse engineering tools set up, and then Banicula's asking how we met. Well, we met by me stumbling upon the Discord server when I started working on this, and then I popped into the modding channel, and everyone told me that it was impossible.
So actually, you knew about us before you could state your intent. So I called stalemate there.
Yeah, I mean, I had the intent to start it, and I had set up some of the tools to do it, and then kind of popped in to see if anyone was kind of doing anything similar.
The closest I got was, oh, we got the PSX exe decompiled, now what? And that's as far as I went.
But that was very cool at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the moment where I got the engine to the point where it was like trying to load the very first game file, and at that point it was kind of like, maybe this is actually going to be a thing. Now the question is, why does it have a bad index here? Oh, okay. I see why. It's not finding the character ID. Wait, are we still using sound file permutation? Are we still using sound permutation files? Okay, that will also have to be deduplicated and pulled out into the character file structure before we can do this properly with duplicating characters. For now, I'm just going to cop out here. Baldur, it was probably about 2 years and 2 or 3 months ago that I started this now.
Well, that's a good question from Huntario.
Yeah,
You
I was
should
just looking
tell
at
them.
that. Huntarios asked, once truly finishing Severed Chains in terms of features and support, do you plan on trying to decompile other PS classics that you enjoy? I was never a PlayStation person. Legend of Dragoon is one of the only PlayStation games that I've ever actually even played. However, after this, I'm probably going to do Golden Sun, which is a great Game Boy Advance game, and a not so great DS game.
And if you like the elemental system in Legend of Dragoon, you would like the elemental system in Golden Sun because it has the same high risk, high reward gameplay of opposite elements being strong against each other.
And a much, much more in-depth class system with the Jin.
Yeah. More magic, too.
Yeah. Lots more magic.
There's a lot more, even though they're both RPGs, I would say Golden Sun has more build options than Legend of Dragoon does.
Oh, way more. It's
There's
not even
just
close.
so much more gear.
Oh, you mean speed? You don't want to use anything that's not speed?
There are some things that can't, like, categorically can't give speed, so, like, there are options. It's not all about speed. There are other drugs.
Like whip.
Yeah.
Gotta lay
Look, if
off
I can't
the-
have a race car, I can't have a race car, so the only other way I can get nitrous oxide is through whipped cream. I'm sorry. It's literally listed as an ingredient. Like, look it up.
Yep.
But I will,
I don't think disabling the combat stage override actually saved.
just to add on for Huntario's question, so long as Corey allows me and I don't become annoying, I would very much like to join Corey on the Golden Sun end of things when that happens and help platform that as well.
Yeah, of course.
Gotta get you that visibility. I know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think the config will save on a crash. It'll only save on a proper close.
Gotcha. You can play Golden Sun in a similar way to Legend of Dragoon. You just need a Game Boy Advance emulator and the Golden Sun ROMs. There are two, Golden Sun 1 and 2.
Yep.
Golden Sun 2 is a direct continuation of the first one, like literally direct.
Yeah.
The first one ends and immediately the second one starts.
Are you gonna bother with the DS game, or just focus on 1 and 2 and go from there?
Definitely just 1 and 2 first.
If they're that identical, I wonder if you could just make it one reversing project for both of the first two games, so long as the second one doesn't have too many changes fundamentally.
I was actually planning to go the other route and start with the second one and see if the first game's assets can just be imported into the second game's engine.
You'll just require them to provide the ROM still?
Yeah. Because, like, the second game is an iteration on the first game's engine. Like, it's not identical. There are some changes, like the hybrid classes, for example. And the items that, like, cause you to become a different class and things like that.
Yeah, the trainer whip.
Yeah.
Okay. I look forward to talking to you about that more later, because, like, I am so eager.
Yeah. There we go. All Miranda.
All Miranda all the time. That's just the anger party.
I wonder what would happen. Oh, look at this. It's I wonder what would happen if we have multiple Mirandas in reserve.
They'll just get removed when you re-enter.
Okay.
So I missed the
One is already
combat.
too much.
I missed the combat test. So do they have synchronized HP or individual values?
No. When you load into combat, when the combat engine starts, it creates battle objects for each character, and there's actually a lot of redundancy in the engine. When you load in, all of your stats are copied over to the battle object, including like all of your equipment and like gear stats and everything. So if we open up the debugger to the combat debugger, you can see that they are loaded into the script engine as battle objects, and the battle objects do have their own copies of everything.
Okay.
Actually, you can see right now, each Miranda has a different amount of hit points.
Who?
Honestly, these phantom enemies, like, can we keep that for later? Just like glitch versions on the moon of all previous creatures.
I mean, all we gotta do is corrupt the VRAM.
Sounds easy enough.
Easier than you would hope. For anyone who's wondering, this is what the PS1 GPU actually sees. Like this is what is actually like in the PlayStation's video card memory. The reason that you're seeing two different copies of the screen is because every frame it flips from top to bottom, so that one frame can be displayed on the screen while the other frame is being drawn. That way you don't actually see the frame being drawn while you're actually like looking at it. And what you're seeing is actually not constant. Your TV is actually, or monitor is actually displaying like this window, then this window, and it is jumping back and forth between the two. Anyway, so that works. What else do we need to do?
Monsters, players.
We'll definitely want to be able to set up gear and equipment, or gear and consumables. Like,
Well, so if you're making this very complete in its style, then you'll need, consumable items, character equipment, character level, edition numbers, or completion
Yeah.
level. Just like all of the stuff the game normally uses. This is something I was going to request anyway for the current debuggers, if I may request one other thing.
Yep.
Manually applying or clearing status effects. If this is going to be a total test bed, why not?
Yeah, that's a good idea. We can
Like,
just have
maybe
a bank of checkboxes.
you can probably exclude can't combat. That's probably unnecessary.
Yeah, that's not an actual status effect.
But,
I thought Drew would have asked to change the size of the 3D models.
can
That
we
too.
embiggen it? Actually, you know what? I want that too. It's for testing purposes. It can help you deal more damage.
Alright, you know what?
No? Okay.
Please hold.
Wouldn't we already be able to do some of the stuff based on the other events?
I'm not sure if we want to do this as... Well, I mean, we probably should do this as a mod. But it's going to require a lot of groundwork for sure.
Well, technically, it's a game mode.
Yeah.
Like it's a sandbox game
Yeah,
mode that you could choose from the main menu.
Yeah, we'll allow mods to add new menu options and stuff. Okay, we're gonna try something here. Nope, script state 6 dot inner structure model scale vector well, something happened. I'm not sure exactly what. Can you tell what happened to the middle, Miranda? Because I sure can't.
Did you embiggen her and she died and blew up into pieces?
I multiplied her scale vector by 10. Let's bring that back down.
2?
Maybe multiply by 2. There we go. Oh, we were just looking at her feet and that's it. There. Mega Miranda. Flanked by
Ooh.
flanked by 2 mini-me's.
You know, I didn't need the embiggen mode right now.
Oh, I didn't add it. I just changed the value at runtime.
Oh, okay. You can blame Psychronix for giving me that thought originally, because he was messing with Faust or something, and Congo going large and tiny, and it was ridiculous.
Yep.
But, you know, particularly for the enemy models, because the battle models of the player characters, we can already see them pretty well, but the enemies, it'll be important to be able to see them up close so we can appreciate extra detail about them. Also to compare with their submap models, like the Sandworm.
Wide Miranda. Alright, on that note.
Stop getting distracted.
Friday's stream is gonna be one that you definitely want to watch the VOD of because there's gonna be some major improvements coming.
Too much. Almost too much to list.
Yeah, we've been drafting out the changelog, and it's excessive. Okay, so character ID, equipment consumables, level, additions, and their experience. Unlocked Dragoon spirits. The log is almost 108 pages long. Glad to hear it, Ontario. Do we need anything else for characters, Psychronics?
No, not for characters.
Okay.
Unless you want to change Dragoon's unlocked spells.
Yeah.
I have a fun video with that
Oh yeah.
coming up.
That's cool. Monster IDs. There's not really a whole lot that you can do with the monsters. Monster positions. We're really restricted on what monsters can do because they're mostly controlled via scripts. Like their whole AI is done in the scripting engine. I think
Oh
what
god,
we
don't
will.
mention that.
Well, I think you'll be much happier about what I'm about to say. What we'll probably do for adding new monsters is allow them to be completely controlled in code. So existing monsters can run the exact same way they do now, but then you can also add new ones that are completely controlled just via code.
Okay, that's much better.
Yeah. Hey, Ninchi.
Yeah, there isn't really much to change with monsters unless you want to go change their stats. Their basic stats.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we go that deep into it or not. Maybe for the first cut, we won't include that, and then if people want it, we can add it in a revision. Because I don't want the UI to be like overwhelming, and there's already going to be quite a bit with player configuration. I do think monster stats is a good idea at some point, but
Well, if you just add the basic, what is it, 5 or
yeah,
9 technically.
yeah, that would probably be fine.
Like you don't need to set that they start off with perfect shield for 10 turns.
We could do that.
You know what? Okay, sidetrack. There is a perfect shield item in the game, and there's a few beta items in the game. Do they run in severed chains? Or we
I don't see
haven't looked
why
into
not.
that yet.
I don't see any reason they wouldn't.
So I've been trying to figure out how, because there's a few beta item multiplier items that work in game, but they don't do damage.
Okay.
So I wonder if we can fix that.
Yeah, we would have to look into those and see why they aren't working, and then I'm sure we could. I don't know if the JP-ROM works. It probably doesn't.
Oh no, none of the other versions worked. I already tried it.
Okay, I figured. once we remove all of the loading of the executables and overlays, it may work based on the file system unpacking, but currently it doesn't. Just the US ROM. We are going to be doing localization and things like that, though. So. Uh, 2G with the modding API, you can actually edit monster stats now. And with Zychronix's CSV stats mod, you can already edit monster stats just by editing CSV files very easily.
Nothing happening with that soon. Nope.
Yeah, we've got nothing cool coming at all. Okay. So character IDs, level, additions, Dragoon spirits, Dragoon spells, monster IDs, positions, stats, equipment consumables, is there anything else? I can't think of
Okay.
anything.
Well, there is the battle stage. I guess that's the
Oh,
only
yes,
thing left.
stage.
Yeah, some people might want to
And
fight
music.
in the unused Hoax battle stage. Oh,
Who
music.
wouldn't? Yeah, once we get music in, we'll definitely want to allow people to play whatever music they want.
I have not looked into the enemy attack multipliers. Maybe next week I need to finish the thing.
The thing.
Preferably tonight.
Yeah, I would like to release that alongside the upcoming recommended build in the next few days. So that'd be pretty cool.
Do you think we can have all of that synchronized for Friday?
Depending on what happens with the very, very major fix that I am working on at the moment. If that's going to be fixable in the next less than a week, then I'm holding off on the recommended build until that's done, because it's big.
And for me, I just need to sit down for 3 hours. I still have all the tools I used to make those CSV files, so I just need to find it all in the other version.
Yeah, we're not talking about changing the music, but allowing you to pick what song you want to play while you're in combat.
Yeah, I want Zeeg's theme for Zeeg. It would be such a great battle theme and they didn't use
Yeah.
it.
The bastards.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Yeah, I think that's it. Drew, you've got a lot of background noise going on.
Sorry about that. I'll mute.
No worries. Okay, well, we have proved that it's very easy to get additional monsters loading. Um, let's let's push this a little bit, see what happens. I don't think this is going to work because I'm pretty sure there's a limited number of combatants. But we're gonna try. I'm gonna reduce the spacing here a bit. Oh yeah, it's almost definitely gonna crash. I'm pretty sure there's only space for, what was it, 10 combatants or something like that. Yeah.
What if you add an extra character? How bad will that mess it up?
We're gonna need to expand some of these arrays. Now, the weird thing is, a lot of these arrays are super arbitrarily sized, and I have no idea why. So I'm just gonna make them all big.
I blame the final boss battle. I think that's...
Actually, fun fact, the final boss battle has special case handling code to rename some of the enemies at runtime because it can't handle the amount of enemies, like the engine can't handle the amount of enemies in that fight. Okay, current enemy
I always
name.
thought it was loading during those transition screens.
It is doing some loading. But, yeah. Okay.
So they could have done enemy names as HP if they really wanted to. They just didn't.
What do you mean enemy names is HP?
Like, I'll just explain the HP as the monster's name.
Oh.
Say, there's this weird code that someone who played the Japanese version made, where the stats of the enemies will replace the character stats when you press a button. Now, I'm not sure if that's debug code or not, or if they were just being crafty with the pointers.
I haven't seen any code remotely close to that I can think of. So I want to say they probably just wang jangled that in somehow.
Yeah, my 2G makes a good point. How about just having the HP display just like status displays?
Mm. Or even having like monsters as like a UI element, like most games. Oh, I didn't make it bigger. Duh. That would help.
This is not the embiggening that I've imagined.
Yeah, there's a bunch of special case handling for that fight. Special case handling for Malibu, Zackwell, and Dole. Lots of special case handling for Malibu.
Nothing for the first frugal battle.
No?
I'm trying to figure out what they have in common. Other than the first monster you load gets replaced with something.
Yeah, okay, so here is this method. You pass the target and the target name, and if it is any other monster in the entire game other than Tentacle, then it just returns the target name. But if it is Tentacle, then it checks what stage of the fight you're on and replaces Tentacle's name with something else.
That makes sense, because technically it's all on the same monster ID, I guess.
Yep.
Because Tentacle, and then the next one would be the Stars, and then Monster.
Yep.
They all have the same monster ID. Huh.
Yep, this is how that is handled.
So
This.
wait, we can't put Monster with the Composer then?
No. Not really.
That's
Ouch.
a tragedy.
Well, I guess I'm gonna leave.
I
Well,
actually have to
you better
leave
dance
soon.
your way out.
Yeah, I'm gonna use special, don't worry.
Yeah, I gotta leave in 10 minutes. I did not eat dinner.
Okay, yeah, well, I'm probably gonna end here shortly. I'm just gonna
Alright.
mess around for a few more minutes and see if we can get a bunch of enemies rendering.
Alright, let's refactor the acronym Legend of Dinner. Go.
Now, why is that happening? Okay, we're getting -1 for the character index. Oh, okay. Yeah, so we just need to Need to expand the number of combatants here. Use a proper length. There's so much of this hard-coded in the actual Legend of Dragoon engine. It's gonna be not fun trying to track down all the places where these need to be changed, but it's doable.
As long as this also prepares for the de-emulation.
Yeah, the good thing is I already pulled a ton of this stuff out of memulation. Almost everything that I've changed. Ooh, we started getting in there. Oh, this is weird. Okay. I think we are running into a script engine limitation now. So until we can patch scripts, there's probably a hard limit.
That's unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
There goes the army of vampire Kiwis I wanted.
Yeah, okay, so it's 7. There's 7 of these values before we reach the menu block flag. I wonder if each of these values might be whether or not you can attack that enemy slot. Because you know how in certain fights you can't attack every enemy? Like,
The Mazo in the
yeah,
Foss battle. And
yeah.
yeah.
I can't remember if it's frugal or not, but when the Sandori elites come out, you have to kill them first before you can attack. I think it's frugal 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to get the wardens.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if that's what these flags mean.
It would be so cool to attack the Mazo, and it like disables the lightning attack from Faust. Because they do have HP. But I believe I did force like targeting them like 1.6 years ago. And it didn't let me attack them.
Okay. I wonder if we just make that 0, if that's going to stop us from attacking one of these guys. Yeah, look at that. 7 enemies.
Now we just need 7 characters, 3 enemies.
that will be doable with some work.
Yeah, I don't think special works if you have below 3 characters or...
Correct. Okay, so let's see if we're blocked from... One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. No, we're not. Okay. Hypothesis was wrong. I have no idea what those flags are or why it's
I
trying to
did
read them.
see some familiar items there.
Yeah, this is stuff that came from Dramod.
Right, I don't... Okay, then we don't... If it came from a leopard, then we don't know the rest.
Yeah. Some of this I might have... some of this I might have pulled from the code, but definitely most of it came from you. Yeah, okay, no, this all came from you because none of it is even in the code. It's only referenced from the script engine. So that's interesting. That means Shields, Sigstone, and Charm, along with Pandemonium and Charging Spirit, are all handled specifically by the script engine and not the game code.
I guess that makes sense. Like, the memory address of it is very high up in RAM. And it's always static, the position. It doesn't move.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's how I triggered the perfect shield item.
I really wish that they would have just implemented all these game features as part of the engine rather than in the scripting engine. It would have made things so much easier.
The script engine looks like a disaster, which is why I've been avoiding it ever since you explained it to me. I was like, oh, this is not fun.
Oh, you have no idea what I went through to rewrite all that code.
Yeah, when's OpenGL? I'll work on that first before.
Well, before we do OpenGL, we need to do the texture split, and we also need to convert all of the rendering to build the models up front and then just render them when they need to be rendered. Because right now, Legend of Dragoon uses a real-time renderer, which means basically every time they want to render a model, they recalculate all of the geometry. Modern rendering calculates everything up front. So it'll make things a lot easier and a lot smoother to transition if we do that building up front. So I think those two things, the texture split or the VRAM split, I guess, is more accurate, and converting from real-time rendering into like pre-building all of the rendering information geometry. Those are going to get us a long way towards it. We should also probably convert as much of the rendering pipeline to use actual floating point numbers as we can, rather than the weird-ass Sony 12-bit fixed point numbers. If we can do all of that, then that will make everything much easier.
It still sounds easier than the scripting engine.
Yeah, I mean, it probably is. For the scripting engine, I mean, the script engine rewrite is done. The script engine itself doesn't really need any work. What we need is a real-time debugger, and for that we need a disassembler and reassembler. And neither of those are particularly fun. I am actually wondering about the feasibility of writing a Ghidra extension for it, rather than writing our own disassembler and decompiler.
Well, isn't that how you basically decompile the LOD?
Well, I mean, PlayStation just uses MIPS assembly, so there's an off-the-shelf decompiler for it, for Ghidra. It doesn't really need any modifications to decompile PlayStation executables at all. But, you know, there's nothing for Legend of Dragoon scripts, obviously, because...
Yeah, so
No.
weird custom language.
Yeah,
I guess.
no one even knew that this scripting language existed until like a year ago.
We need the open goal guys that worked on Jack and Daxter.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that project.
Oh,
I
the
just-
whole game was written in its like own custom language that Naughty Dog made, and they all like decompiled it already.
Gotcha.
I just watched a Jack and Daxter video.
I mean, it might not be a bad idea to chat with them. See if any of them are interested in potentially contributing or anything.
Well, your opening message should be, can you save us from the entropy we've fallen into? We were in a black hole. Will you get a space tugboat? Well, no, actually, we're in a Wingly pocket dimension, bound to a chair.
Can you extend the light bridge? But yes, I think looking into writing a Ghidra extension might be a reasonable first foray into this. I have no experience with writing Ghidra extensions whatsoever, so I don't know if that's feasible at all, but I think it's worth looking into.
That reminds me, didn't you need me to help you with a Ghidra server setup or something?
Yeah, I just need a server to host it on. I can do all the setup myself. I just need root access.
No, we need to figure out how to do that.
Yeah. I mean, if you got a server I can run it on, it's very easy.
I don't remember why we got stuck last time, but I know nothing about that.
I don't think we got stuck. I think we just didn't progress.
Okay. Well, maybe after the new cut, the new recommended build, we can temporarily talk about that.
Yeah. Huntario says, when do you plan on completely switching to OpenGL? I don't plan anything, and I'm not going to. We basically just work on, well, I basically just work on whatever I find interesting at the time. It'll be sometime this year.
We were going to try at the end of last year, but then endless rabbit holes into all the other interesting things.
Well, the reason that I didn't expedite it more is just because when I removed the 15 layers of Sony code from the rendering, it made the software renderer like 300% faster, and it made OpenGL far less of a priority. So I switched to things that would have much more impact, like rendering improvements and things like that. But now that we're getting quite close to rendering looking good, we can revisit that. Yeah, Chris, exactly.
It's the same approach TFZ and Zycronix did. I used to do official community management work where it was like they kind of wanted me to do like a weekly post kind of a thing, and sometimes it was my fault, but sometimes it was like the company's fault for having nothing to give me to write about, and then all the fans complained, and it was like, okay, this is a bad idea. How about we just post when it's done?
Yeah, exactly.
When it's done, it's done.
Yep.
But like for texture upscale, we haven't been motivated because it barely works on RetroArch and Beetle as it is. Like you would, even if it was done, people would not finish it because they would be frustrated because it's just a gigantic slowdown every time you go into battle and do something with like effects or something.
Yeah. I guess technically you could like lower the output of those images to a lower quality, but then that kind of defeats the purpose a bit.
Oh, no, that doesn't even work. Just turning on texture tracking makes it lag.
Oh, just the feature?
Yeah, just the feature itself.
Oh, I thought it was like the magnitude. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, we can do that much easier, more efficiently in SC. In terms of the scripting engine, Ontario, it's not so much that we don't understand the scripts. I do fully understand them and how they work. I did rewrite the script engine from the ground up to make it much easier to both use and debug. And I do know how to read the scripts, and with great labor, we can actually like read the code and see what it does. But it takes a very long time, and it's a very manual process. It's mostly just the writing of a disassembler, which is just not easy. Yeah, we're doing weekly recaps, severed Sundays, but I have been just writing so much code that it hasn't happened. I did plan on I didn't plan on waiting. Like, I guess it's been basically exactly 2 months since the last recommended build. I didn't plan on waiting 2 months to cut a new recommendation, but there was a major game-breaking bug that took a very long time to figure out, that we just figured out in the past like couple of weeks. And then I've been basically just on a bug fixing rampage for the past few days, getting everything ready for the new recommended build now that we have that fixed.
What Corey is saying is that if you don't see a new recap article on the website, it probably means there is a lot of progress instead of a little progress.
Yeah. And there has been a lot of progress.
So the less you hear from us, the better.
Yep. Maybe.
It's a joke. I don't actually believe in that. Of course, we want to keep y'all updated periodically. But yeah, it's Corey's fault for just finding all this passion to do so much. Thanks, Corey.
Yeah, it's a real problem. Hey Justin, we're actually just kind of wrapping stuff up, but I can do one more demo of what we were just working on.
Yeah, where everything has a stern fish texture.
Yep. Yeah, to put it into perspective, with the original retail script engine, uh, any time that there was an issue with a script or the script engine code, it would literally take me days of debugging to figure out what the issue was. Last night we found an issue with the script engine, uh, and I was able to figure it out and patch it within about 15 minutes. And that's with the rewritten script engine.
I have a dumb mod request. Are you
Go
ready
on.
for it? Okay, so thanks to what you've done here, where, it's a little different on the sandworm, but in one of the previous demos, I saw like everything looked like a stern fish texture. So my dumb mod request is that in the debugger, I guess, you can select any monster and apply its texture to all of the monsters currently on the field. So, like, for example, I could take all of these creatures, I go into the debugger, I select any monster in the game, like Zackwell, and apply its texture map to all of the creatures here, and they all look like Zackwell.
That's not really how texture maps work.
I know, but yet there is obviously something going on here, so let it come out all borked and weird, like the net slum from .hack, you know?
I do not know.
Oh, damn, I don't have another example. Anyway, it's a fantastic idea, and we should totally do it.
We'll see. Look at all those particle effects actually rendering.
It's so cool that, like, you got more than the normal limit of creatures functioning within the vanilla combat system. Like, it didn't break the speed calculation values or anything.
Yeah, it might lag on OG hardware because it's rendering so much more. But yeah, I mean that doesn't really matter on separate chains because we've got, a little bit more processing power than a PS1. Just a little bit. So yeah, that's what we did tonight. Basically, long story short, Justin, we are working on a combat composer where you can, well, I can bring up the list here. You can choose what characters you want to bring. You can change character stats, what additions you have, their levels, what dragoons you have, what spells you have. You can choose your monsters that you want to fight. Currently, it's possible to choose up to 7 monsters. The positions they start in, what stats the monsters have. You can choose what equipment you have, the consumables you want to bring into battle. And you can also choose the combat stage and what music you want to play. Now, we only got the basics of this going here, which is being able to choose your characters and choose what monsters you have, and we also expanded the maximum number of monsters that the game engine can support. The rest of this is still a little ways off. But, this stream is all about experimentation and, seeing what we can push the game engine to do. And I think we have done a pretty good job of that tonight.
So you're saying that we, at least for now, cannot actually fight the Archangel and then have it summon like literally 100 enemy units of Wingly soldiers.
No. We've just found that 7 is currently the maximum limit, and it seems to be a hard limit of the script engine. So until we can edit those scripts, then it seems like 7 is going to be the limit. But I mean, 7 is still over twice what the retail game can handle, so, you know. Retail also only supports up to 3 unique monsters per fight, and this you can have every monster being unique. Alright, does anyone have any questions before we go? Drew, that was a terrible pun and you should feel bad.
I am here to serve. I don't feel bad. I feel good.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, well, if no one has any questions, then I think that is where we will call it.
Now all we have to do is be ready for the live stream on Friday.
Justin has a question that I think Zychronics could probably answer.
Yes, they are. The Virage, different parts are different monsters.
That
technically.
is very good to know. I actually wasn't sure of that.
But yeah, there's an encounter with the Virage, but it's only like as a single unit, and the camera's like out of place. It's not zoomed out, so you're just staring at its feet.
Oh?
And that's in the game.
That's interesting.
Hmm.
Is it a specific encounter ID?
I believe so.
Can you load it without it crashing?
Do you know that encounter ID by chance?
Let me see if I have it marked.
This could be the weirdest ending to a Devstream ever.
Yeah, hold on everyone. We have one more experiment to do.
The investigation of giant Virage feats.
462?
462?
Yeah.
Alright, we gotta disable that code. $462.
462. Oh, damn.
Too late. Or should I say, too slow. Whoops, I'm getting ahead of myself. 462.
And if it does crash, you should fix it so it doesn't.
Nope, doesn't crash. We've got Virage feet. We've got Virage feet, everyone! And they're all almost dead already.
Oh, maybe I was thinking because the arrows are... half of them are at the base position? Never mind, it's not one unit.
They all have 0 hit points.
It's
It's already dead!
an undead Virage, great.
Another one. Aren't they all kind of all undead?
It's like a story fight, like when you fight Michael, except it's with Shauna waiting to reveal the weakness of the Virage. Shauna, you need to tell us. I don't know, should I?
Okay, Quagsire just raised a very interesting question. What happens if we just spawn a bunch of Virage feet?
I think you should stop the stream.
Okay, Zychronics, get me the monster ID for the Virage feat.
Wait, can
Or
you
the
like
Virage
make
body, I guess.
Alright, 1 second.
while they're doing that? Can we potentially use this as inspiration for like a Charlie Brown mod? Because isn't there a scene where like you don't really see the adult, like the teacher or something? You only see the feet, or is that Garfield?
I have no idea.
There's a TV show where you can only see the feet. I don't remember what it is.
It could be 317, or it could
317?
be
Right.
321, but I'm assuming it's 317 because that's first.
These are obviously secret Wingly article codes.
You said 317, right?
Yeah. Possibly? I don't know. I don't know which super is it? Is the S for super?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the first Super Virage or the second one. I have them labeled both as just S Virage.
Special Virage. Spicy
Maybe
Virage?
Maybe
I
it'll
like
spawn
spicy.
the whole body.
Spicy Virage.
Oh, no, didn't like that. Didn't like that at all.
It's hiding something. Fix it.
Oh, I know what's wrong. There.
We need closure.
Are they edible? Are you asking? Oh crap, I just started a new game.
Spicy edibles.
You know what? We are starting a fight from this cutscene.
Thank God for the skip feature. Did you just start? What?
Okay, so it's definitely the second.
Okay.
Nothing loaded.
It's invisible.
Everyone hang in
Oh
there.
no. Oh, we're so screwed. Oh, what?
Oh, dart. Oh, dart. Oh, dart with your 10 hit points.
This is gonna be very bad. Oh,
Well,
6,100.
I guess we know what happened. They're
Well,
different monsters, but they're
Oh,
part of one
what's
model, I
happening?
guess.
I wasn't. Okay, there we go.
I wonder if there's
Okay.
any model data or if there's no model at all.
Do you have the feet for... Give me one body part. Wait, what is the Wendigo's heart?
Oh, I do have that. Let's see. 347.
Jesus.
Alright.
Now I feel like we're
now.
that lab in Jurassic Park breeding dinosaurs. It's a very bad idea.
Or Mr. Moggy. We're always Mr. Moggy.
Hey, at least with Jurassic Park lab, like their plan actually worked. Like Mr. Moggy just turned into a dog. That reminds me, though, I want to make a mod where Mr. Moggy actually transforms and is a semi-optional boss.
Okay, we won. Good game, everyone. We did it.
I think everything the game labels as autocomplete is automatically loaded in when like its base version, I guess. That's my assumption.
I thought you told me the autocompletes were ones that spawn mid-battle or something. Like Zackwell.
Right, but when the heart of the what's it called again? The
Wendigo?
snow monster. Yeah.
What's
That
Faust's
spawns right
ID?
away. Which one?
I
The
don't
one with
know.
the Mazo
The-
or
The invulnerable one or the one you can kill?
The one you can kill.
Oh, I'm assuming it's the second one, 345.
Alright, get ready for an interesting fight.
It's either 345 or 344.
All right. Channel your inner Reggie. My body is ready.
Your body is Reggie?
Yes.
It's the Faust wall!
Oh, what?
Fake one. This is the fake one. It's 344.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I mean, they all do the same attacks.
You are SOL. There's two, and they're headless, but that's your theme, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, new Kofi picture.
So does that mean, like, the inverted mascot would be Savan, who only has a head? I just thought of that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Is that what's...
Well, you say
Darknet?
there's no way to win, but let's set our level to 200.
No...
The script engine will defeat you.
Don't they have infinite HP anyway? Like, what are you gonna do?
This has been a lot of attacks before I get to do anything.
Set your turn value to 999.
True. Although I think they're probably almost done now. They've got to be almost done by now. Oh no!
Dead.
They can't seem to hit Dart.
Invisible attack. What is...
Okay,
Is
we're
Dart
upping the
immune?
speed. How's 550 speed sound? Oh my god, stop attacking me!
You know, I've tried editing the speed and it didn't seem to really take. Like, it doesn't stay.
Oh yeah, look
You
at
might-
that. It didn't stay.
Yeah, Dramod had that problem too. We had to rewrite the speed every turn.
Interesting.
So,
I wonder
try the
what's-
turn value?
I wonder what's forcing that. What do these things have for their turn value? It's not that much. Rose has the highest.
Just set it to, yeah. That should
Weird.
work, hopefully. Unless
Why
you-
can't you act?
Oh my god!
You are so screwed.
Seriously.
This is nuts.
I thought that this battle lets you run away when you first encounter it.
Oh my
there
god,
we
I can attack.
Well, remember when I accidentally hit the apparition in the streams, the Severed Chains playthrough stream? They were like, "Yeah, you can run in chat," but like I didn't get a chance to act. I was just dead. So, okay, you're attacking.
Demons dance.
Yeah, this is the fake one, so you can't hit it. That's why I said the script engine will
Uh,
defeat you.
I thought you weren't going to be able
Oh.
to do anything.
Their
You-
IDs are
Smoke
not
ball.
in the correct order you would think they would be.
Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, what is the real one?
44. It's one lower.
344.
I mean, I kind of did this with Grand Jewel, but I had Grand Jewel in the middle and Faust surrounding it.
That sounds terrible. But also, I mean, 7 Foss sound pretty
And if
terrible
you-
too.
I changed their position specifically that if you connected them, it would draw a certain symbol.
Oh.
We'll put it in modding later.
Oh, we found a
Well-
bug. Look at that. Although that's, to be fair, that is probably just a bug from having 7 of them.
I got 4 working.
We
Maybe
should be able to do
7
at
is
least
just too
6.
much.
Yeah, that's definitely is supposed to be a battle object. So I think it's just hard-coded script indices that are conflicting with the dynamically allocated ones. Anyway, we had some fun there. And I think with that, we can call it a night. Anyone have anything to add before we go? Nothing?
No, I'm all good. We
All right.
went way off topic.
I mean, it was only a little bit off topic. It was still related to combat. But yeah, anyway. Thanks to my Ko-fi supporters, Zach for 3 months now, Vorthod for 2 months, Justin for 2 months, and Balder for 1 month, and Doom for 1 month, and my recent one-off donation from Bunnicula. If you're interested in supporting the project, you can donate at ko-fi.com/monoxide. The link should be in the description of the video. Thanks to everyone for stopping by tonight, and don't forget to catch our gameplay stream on Friday. See you later, everyone.